I'm going to try to speak as loudly as I can. I'm Sylvia Turnage. It always amazes me how people try to throw rocks and then they hide their hands. Okay, this meeting miraculously occurred. All right, I was at the last council meeting, the last council workshop meeting, the last Board of Education meeting. There was no mention about having a special meeting whatsoever about anything. It just so happens that last week, all the elected officials in this room, myself and a couple other people in the audience, was in Atlantic City. We went for a week to the League of Municipalities, and that's where council people, different vendors, where you get work done, where you take continuing education credits. You go to parties every night. You know, people have meetings. Okay, so it's quite apparent to me that some meeting went on somewhere at the League of Municipalities that concocted this special emergent meeting that we absolutely had to have the day before a judge is going to release his decision on a case that was filed by Anthony Esposito. It just amazes me. You know, we have people, oh my God, Mr. Atkins, oh, Shim's Academy, St. Joe's, the buildings are deplorable, so on and so forth. We have our kids there. Well, Shim's Academy was rented by the Board of Education, part and parcel. I rent a commercial property. Everything in that property I'm responsible for. Everything. Anything I want to add to the property, subtract. We rented the entire Shim's Academy. That raggedy sign that was hanging out front, we own that. You know, when they decided to put these pretty little kid print hands and, you know, do the outside of the building when it caught the attention of news media, we paid for that. You know, so to paint a picture that the building is so decrepit and so raggedy, when we were responsible for fixing the building, making sure it was up to standard for our children, even during the time Mr. Atkins and Ms. Walker was on the Board of Education, I think that is despicable. You know, to even mention that Sheridan Gardens, no matter how Councilman Atkins says that it happened, oh, we said that this happened, the guy actually refinanced. Well, the fact of the matter is, the guy still pays less in property taxes than the woman that was paying $14,000 that lost her house on Sheridan Avenue and went past there and saw all her belongings, a senior citizen, all her belongings on the curb because she had no way to move, have more time, because she had no way to move them, and the small apartment she had, she could not accommodate them. Her life was sitting on the curb. Okay, looking at this mind and body project the way that it is, the $59 million, do we need something great for our kids, a recreation center? Of course we do. But why can't it be everyone's input? Why can't we scale back the project? Why can't we float a referendum to let the state put their money where their mouth is and help us build a new school? Not necessarily a pre-kindergarten and a kindergarten, because we need a new high school. If we built a new high school, we could shift all the other schools. We have more than enough room to shift. Okay, after they go from pre-K to kindergarten, out of those rented spaces, we're just getting a few coins back to jingle in our pocket. Where are they going to go next? We have no other new schools. We have the same schools with a huge influx of kids. You know, we've got to do better. I'm happy to see so many residents out, the tide turning in town, and many people are out, and they're about the business of the borough. And that's a wonderful thing. Let's just keep this momentum going. Next year, elections. Mr. Atkins, Ms. Walker. Ward 2 and council at large? No. I'm sorry, 5th Ward and 2nd Ward. Okay, if there are people here and if they are not working to your benefit because you hired them, next year, fire them. Put in place people that are conscientious, people that will work for the borough of Roselle, people that have a stake in this community and don't mind rolling up their sleeves to stand shoulder to shoulder instead of standing up pontificating how we don't have all the facts, how it was this mysterious paper floated around. You know, I commend the borough residents that did their research. Every piece of paper that Brandon has and the borough residents have, they Oprah. They got these papers from the borough and from the Board of Education. These are their papers. They just put them together to make sense out of them. If the borough owns the paper, why can't they make sense out of their own papers? You can't do that when you are being told what to do and not actually doing the work. Have a good evening.